October is my favorite month. Hey guys, welcome back. Today we are going to be looking at the October picks for Book of the Month. I love October, so I'm very excited. I'm hoping that there's going to be some spooky picks. So let's look at what they have to offer this month. Before we dive in, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want more book videos. Okay, so I skipped last month, September, because I wasn't interested in any of their picks. So I was really sad that I didn't get a, a book in the mail. So I'm really hoping that this month I find something that I'm excited for so that I can get something in the month or get something in the mail this month. So let's just see what they have. Oh, so there's 7 selections this month. Ooh, that is a lot. I don't know if they've had 7 selections since I've been a member. So that's pretty exciting because I haven't been a member super, super long. So, okay. So the first one is a paranormal fiction. It's Sign Here. I really like the cover of that. Okay, so let's do our little research here. So this one, it's coming out October 25th. Okay, so this is a darkly humorous debut novel about a guy who works in hell, literally, okay, and is on the cusp of a big promotion. If only he can get one more member of the wealthy Harrison family to sell their soul. Piote Trip has a pretty good gig in the deals department on the 5th floor of hell. Sure, none of the pens work. The coffee machine has been out of order for a century, and the only drink they offer is Jägermeister, but Pei has a plan. All he needs is one last member of the Harrison family to sell their soul. When the Harrisons retreat to the family lake house for the summer with their daughter Mickey's precarious new friend Ruth in tow, the opportunity Pei has awaited a millennium for might finally be in his grasp. And with the help of his charismatic co-worker Chlamydity, he has a plan in motion. But things aren't always as they seem on Earth or in hell, and as old secrets and new dangers scrape away at the Harrisons' shiny surface, revealing the darkness beneath, everyone must face the consequences of their choices. Okay, so it says that the genres are horror and fantasy, which are the top ones. Kind of into it being horror. It doesn't sound very horror-esque. So yeah, kind of, this review says it's smart, morbid, entertaining, and a dark comedy, which I'm into. I like the idea that it's he's just kind of like a regular office worker down in hell, just trying to meet his quota and get his little promotion. So yeah, I'm kind of into that. Okay, so next we have Thistlefoot. This is a fantasy. Oh, it's another debut. Oh. House on Chicken Legs. That's a girl who can bring inanimate objects to life. Prophecy foretold adds upon to a perfect fantasy. Okay. That house is running after those children. I haven't heard of either of these books, and that's what I do like about Book of the Month is I do like that they will do debut authors so that it actually have new things that come out that I'm oh, I would have not known about you otherwise. Oh, okay, so this is already out. So this was published September 13th. I don't feel very, I like reading things, or I like picking things that aren't out yet, that are coming out in the month that you order the box, because then I feel more special, because I feel like I'm on top of things with the new releases. This was released in September. That's fine. This should have been a September pick if it was released in the middle of September, but let's just keep going. Okay, in the tradition of modern fairy tales, okay, I like that. I like fairy tale-esque things. Like American Gods and Spinning Silver comes a sweeping epic rich in Eastern European folklore, a debut novel about the ancestral hauntings that stalk us in the uncanny power of story. The Yaga sisters, Bellatine, a young woodworker, and Isaac, a wayfaring street performer and con artist, have been estranged since childhood, separated by both resentment and by wide miles of American highway. But when they learn that they are to receive a mysterious inheritance, the siblings are reunited, only to discover that their request isn't land or money, but something far stranger, a house on chicken legs. I'm really curious now. Thistlefoot, as the house is called, has arrived from the Yaga's ancestral home in Russia, but not alone. It's arrived. I'm just imagining it just running across the country, arriving to these two people. A sinister figure only known as a Long Shadow Man has tracked it to American shores, bearing him with violent secrets from the past. Fiery memories that have hidden in Isaac and Bellatine's blood for generations. As the Yaga siblings embark with Thistlefoot on a final cross-country tour of the family's traveling theater show, the Long Shadow Man follows in relentless pursuit, seeding destruction in its wake. Ultimately, time, magic, and legacy must collide, erupting in a powerful conflagration to determine who gets to remember the past and craft a new future. An enchanted adventure illuminated by Jewish myth and adorned with lyrical prose as tantalizing and sweet as briar berries, Thistlefoot is an immersive modern family. Thistlefoot is an immersive modern fantasy saga by a bold new talent. Okay, I'm really confused. I don't know. GennaRose, you author, you kind of got me with the whole house on chicken legs thing. I'm very confused. Oh, this says that it features a romance. I like that. I feel like I'm gonna have to look up more about this this Jewish Thistlefoot mythology if I were to just pick that one before I decide. Not heard of that before. I'm intrigued. Okay, so next we have a thriller, of course. Book of the Month likes their thrillers. The Family Game. I kind of like that cover. Looks like a creepy mansion. The rules of the game may be simple, but when your shady in-laws are up to no good, making it out alive is anything but. Expected publication October 18th, first published September 29th. That happens all the time where they do that. I'm not going to waste my time trying to figure out what the actual date is. A rich, eccentric family, a time-honored tradition, or a lethal game of survival. One woman finds out what it really takes to join the 1%. Harry is a novelist on the brink of stardom. Edward, her husband-to-be... Okay, so Harry's a girl, is seemingly perfect, in love, and freshly engaged. Their bliss is interrupted by the reemergence of the Holbecks, Edward's eminent family and the embodiment of American old money. For years, they've dominated headlines and pulled society's strings, but Edward left them all behind to forge his own path. What kind of path did you forge for yourself, Edward? But there are eyes and ears everywhere. It was only a matter of time before they were pulled back in. After all, even though he's long severed ties with his family, Edward is set to inherit it all. Okay, that's suspicious. Harriet is drawn to the glamour and sophistication of the Holbecks. Wait, Harriet? Oh, she goes by... Okay, you can't do that. You can't change the person's character's name halfway through the synopsis. Harriet is Harry. Harry, is drawn to the glamour and sophistication of the Holbecks, who seem to welcome her with open arms. Red flag. But everything changes when she meets Robert, the inescapably magnetic head of the family. At their first meeting, Robert slips Harriet, a cassette tape revealing a shocking confession which sets the inevitable game in motion. What is it about Harry that made him give her the tape? This sounds stupid. A thing that has the power to destroy everything. As she ramps up her quest for the truth, she must endure Holbeck's savage Christmas traditions, all while knowing that losing this game could be deadly. So the loser dies. Okay. I kind of want to know what this game is. And is like Robert, like the old ancient, like annoying grandfather that like is like, oh, I've created this game where my family members are going to kill each other. I kind of just want to know what is going to happen, but I don't want to read this. The Holbeck family of New York isn't just going to accept just anyone to be their oldest son's Edward's wife. Edward, our darling child. Okay. Ooh, a young adult. I don't feel like they do young adult very often. Kind of into that. This is a repeat author. What was the other one? Oh, they don't get a special tag. Foul Lady Fortune. Ooh. Stay alert. The first imperative in this shadowy 1930s Shanghai tale of spycraft and hijinks where death is ever near. Oh, it's a #1. So this is going to be a series. This is also fantasy and historical fiction. Ooh, buddy, you're long. 528 pages. I mean, that's not that long, but I feel like that's kind of long for like Book of the Month books. I feel like they're usually around 300 pages. This came out already September 27th. The first book in a captivating new duology following an ill-matched pair of spies posing as a married couple to investigate a series of brutal murders in 1930s Shanghai. It's 1931 in Shanghai, and the stage is set for a new decade of intrigue. 4 years ago, Rosalind Lang was brought back from the brink of death, but the strange experiment that saved her also stopped her from sleeping and aging. That's kind of cool. Okay, into it. It allows her to heal from any wound. In short, Rosalind cannot die. Now desperate for redemption from her traitorous path, she uses her abilities as an assassin for her country. Codename Fortune. But when the Japanese Imperial Army begins its invasion march, Rosalind's mission pivots, and a series of murders is causing unrest in Shanghai, and the Japanese are under suspicion. Rosalind's new orders are to infiltrate foreign society and identify the culprits behind the terror plot before more of her people are killed. That sounds kind of boring. To reduce suspicion, however, she must pose as the wife of another nationalist spy, Oran Hong, and although Rosalind finds his cavalier attitude and playboy demeanor infuriating, but she's so desperately attracted to him. No, she is willing to work with him for the greater good. But Orion has an agenda of his own, and Rosalind has secrets that she wants to keep buried. As they both attempt to unravel the conspiracy, the two spies soon find that there are deeper and more horrifying layers to this mystery than they ever imagined. I'm kind of surprised that it's young adult. How old are these spy people? This sounds more like meaty than like I'm used to young adult book descriptions being. So that kind of surprises me. I feel like if they played up the romance more, where it's like, oh, two spies fall in love while doing a mission, I'd be like, oh yeah, you do. But I mean, I don't feel like that's actually gonna happen. Or maybe it will, but it's not the main focus. So for me, it sounds kind of a little boring. Okay, next we have a historical fiction, Hester. I like that cover too. You'll never look at the Scarlet A the same after reading this quintessential New England tale of power and desire. Hester, you're so desirable. Is this a retelling? I feel like this is going to be a retelling. 336 pages, October 4th. Historical fiction, retellings, historical. Ooh, romances. Okay, Isabel Gamble is a young seamstress carrying generations of secrets when she sets sail from Scotland in the early 1800s with her husband, Edward, an apothecary who has fallen under the spell of opium. It's a real epidemic. His pile of debts have forced him to flee Edinburgh for a fresh start in the new world, but only days after they've arrived in Salem, Edward abruptly joins a departing ship as a medic, leaving Isabel penniless and alone in a strange country, forced to make her way in any means possible. Wow, fuck you, Edward. When she meets a young Nathaniel Hawthorne, oh, the author of the Scarlet Letter? Little love story? The two are instantly drawn to each other. Yeah, they are. He is a man haunted by his ancestors who sent innocent women to the gallows, while she is an unusually gifted needleworker troubled by her own strange talents. As the weeks pass and Edward's safe return grows increasingly unlikely, yeah, fuck you, Edward, bye, Nathaniel and Isabel grow closer and closer. Together, they are a muse and a dark storyteller, the enchanter and the enchanted, but which is which? I kind of like that. They're the muse and a dark storyteller. In this sensuous and hypnotizing tale, a young immigrant woman grapples with our country's complicated past and learns that America's ideas of freedom and liberty often fall short of their promise. Interwoven with Isabel and Nathaniel's story, I do like dual point of view books. That makes me happy. Okay, story of who gets to be a real American in the first half of the 19th century, depiction of the early days of the Underground Railroad, captured the long history of unusual women being accused of witchcraft. Oh, I bet she'll be accused of witchcraft. Okay, meticulously researched yet imagined, Hester is a timeless tale of art, ambition, and desire that examines the roots of female creative power and the men who try to shut it down. A vivid reimagining of the woman who inspired Hester Prynne, the tragic heroine. Oh, I didn't know a real lady inspired Nathaniel. Nathaniel Hawthorne's Scarlet Letter and a journey into the enduring legacy of New England's witchcraft trials. Why does that sound good? Ugh. kind of into that. I'm super into the idea of them having like a forbidden love affair. So into that. Okay, was not expecting to be interested in that one, like at all. Okay, next we have another historical fiction, Jacqueline in Paris. This came out September 27th. Not very many, there's a lot of September books, not very many like October books. Interesting. Okay, a rare and dazzling portrait of Jacqueline's college year abroad in post-war Paris. An intimate and electrifying story of love and betrayal and a coming of age of an American icon before the world knew her as Jackie. Oh, that's kind of cool. In August 1949, Jacqueline arrives in post-war Paris to begin her junior year abroad. She's 20 years old, socially poised, but financially precarious, and all too aware of her mother's expectations that she make a brilliant match. You find yourself a Paris boy. Before relenting to family pressure, she has 1 year to herself far away from the sleepy Vassar College in the rigid social circles of New York, a year to explore and absorb the luminous beauty of the City of Light. Jackie is immediately catapulted into an intoxicating new world. She strikes up a romance with a talented young writer who shares her love of literature and passion for culture, even though her mother would think him most unsuitable. But beneath the glitter and rush, France is a fragile place still haunted by the occupation. Jackie lives in a rambling apartment with a widowed countess and her daughters, all of whom suffered as part of the French resistance just a few years before. In the aftermath of World War II, Paris has become a nest of spies, and suspicion, deception, and betrayal lurk around every corner. Okay, Jackie is stunned to watch, never guessing that she's witness to the beginning of the political environment that will shape the rest of her life and that of her future husband. Is this gonna be political? I'm not really into that. Rich historic detail. Jacqueline in Paris portrays the origin story of an American icon. The book is rich in historic detail, and it illuminates how France would prove to be her one true love and one of the greatest influences on her life. Okay. Yeah, I'm not super into that. I don't know. I'm not super, I'm kind of surprised that it's historical fiction, but with like a touch of truth, I guess. I don't know. I'm not super interested in reading it. Okay, so next we have another young adult one. Man, they don't do the young adult very often, but when they do too. So As Long as the Lemon Trees Grow. That's a really nice cover. I really like that. Salma was a pharmacy student when the cries for freedom broke out in Syria. She still had her parents and her big brother. She still had her home. She still had a normal teenager's life. Now she volunteers at a hospital and homes, helping the wounded who flood through the doors daily. Secretly, though, she's desperate to find a way out of her beloved country before her sister-in-law, Layla, gives birth. So desperate that she has manifested a physical embodiment of her fear. Whoa. This just took a turn. She manifested a physical embodiment of her fear in the form of her imagined companion, who haunts her every move in an effort to keep her safe. That took a twist. Pressing her to leave, Salma is torn between her loyalty to her country and her conviction to survive. She must contend with bullets and bombs, military assaults, and her shifting sense of morality before she might finally breathe free. And when she crosses paths with the boy she was supposed to meet one fateful day, she starts to doubt her resolve in leaving home at all. Soon she must learn to see the events around her for what they truly are, not a war but a revolution, and decide how she too will cry for serious freedom. Okay, what is going on with this companion that she imagined up? I am so confused. That sounds pretty cool. Okay, I really need more information about this companion that she manifested. I'm very confused and very intrigued. Don't know if I would actually pick this one as my actual pick, but this is probably one that I would check out maybe from a library. Okay, so time to pick. I am surprised that there are kind of quite a few that I'm actually interested in, that I actually want to read. And now, so after you ship your first 3 boxes, so I'm on I think this is what month is this? I reached whatever status it was to where now if you reach a certain status after you ship your first 3 boxes, I think it's on the 4th box that you can do 2 additional add-ons for a less price. So I could do one book at like a normal price and then pick 2 additional books. I think it's either $10.99 or $11.99. I'll have to see when I put them in my cart. I know that if you're like a newer member, then it's higher than people who are kind of been like grandfathered in, who have been members longer. I think it's $10.99 for people who have had Book of the Month for a long time. For me, I believe it's $11.99 because I'm new, and they raise their prices. So I am interested in Sign Here. I love the idea of reading about an office worker from hell, and Thistlefoot has me very confused. I'm also interested in that. And then I'm also very interested in Hester. That one I was very surprised that I was interested in, but I'm also interested in that one. Okay, so I'm just gonna add them in my thing, and I'm gonna see if there's any specific add-ons. Let's look at the add-ons before I add more in. Yeah, so the Kiss Curse is the sequel to the X-Hex, and that's romance, but I haven't read the X-Hex. I heard it wasn't that great, so. Ooh, the Shadows, that looks interesting. Oh, the Book of Cold Cases, I actually do want to read that. Siren Queen, that looks cool too. Okay, I want to add Thistlefoot. Add to box. Okay, add to box. Yeah, so my add-ons are $11.99. Like I said, I'm a newer Book of the Month member, so for people who have been Book of the Month members for a long time, it's $10.99. For me, it's $11.99. But I still think that's a good deal for a hardcover book, like a new release hardcover book, so that's pretty exciting. So yeah, I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do for my October book, or my October box. Definitely Sign Here, because I'm interested in that. And then Thistlefoot and Hester, I'm also interested in those two. But I might think about it a little bit more and maybe like do some moving around. But that's kind of like my first like gut reaction. So I'm pretty excited. This is like the first month that I've actually been like, oh, there's actually like quite a few of these books that sound good. Especially since last month for September, I was like, none of these sound interesting. So I'm kind of excited that like there are quite a few that I'm like, oh, that sounds good. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, that sounds good. So it was actually kind of hard to pick this month, which I'm pretty into. I'm pretty excited about. So I think Book of the Month did a good job this month. Very excited. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you like these selections? Are you excited? Because I'm excited. But yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. As always, thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time. Bye.